I've just done in the house is the basics. Going round, doing what I call, well actually I don't call it a home blessing. Fly Lady calls it a home blessing. Flylady.net. She saved my life when I was a young mum, trying to have some semblance of a nice home environment for my children. I definitely needed help. And I got into the habit of doing an hour's home blessing every Monday. And that's basically emptying the bins, hoovering, cleaning the floor, changing the beds, just a quick dust and a spruce up and a tidy up as you go. So I still am in the habit of doing that, and I find that even though now it's just Stephen and I at home, and my goodness, I really want to get into that topic. I feel very compelled to be honest about my experiences, which really started to kick in about 3 months ago. You remember I started HRT about 3 months ago. And the reason I started HRT, it's because the symptoms, my perimenopause, so I wasn't even in menopause, it was perimenopause symptoms, and I'm 54, were getting very intrusive into my everyday life. We're talking aching joints, aching muscles, so that when I came to get in and out of a chair or to get up, I would have to think about it. I could feel my hip joints kind of in a way that I couldn't feel them before. Fatigue. Fatigue. Fatigue that came hand in hand with a lack of enthusiasm about life in general. I had the feeling that all the best of life had gone, and that I had nothing really to look forward to. There was nothing exciting me anymore. Even on those occasions when I was due to be doing something fun, which I would normally consider something fun, it's like the sparkle, the shine of life had worn off. It's quite a flat experience, feeling like that. I've never known myself to be like that. I was always the one who was upbeat and enthusiastic about things. And I'm pretty sure that it was the dip in my estrogen level that made me think like that. What other things? Brain fog. Brain fog. Very difficult for me to put it into words because it's such a subjective experience. It depends on how you used to think in the past as compared to how you were experiencing the brain fog. I just had a general lack of clarity. I wasn't able to problem solve. So that hand in hand with fatigue made it so if I had any challenge in life, if I had any problem in life, and who doesn't have problems in life? I mean, if there's one thing that you can expect, is to have problems in life. But they appeared insurmountable to me. When I was younger and my hormone profile was different, I used to have faith in tomorrow because I had faith that I would be able to creatively think my way out of something, or that I would meet somebody and they would offer me some solution, or I'd come across some other solution. You know, when I'm describing this period of time, which started about 3 months ago, well, in the summer, the beginning of the summer, gradually getting worse over time, I wasn't able to access that kind of faith in tomorrow, that kind of optimistic thinking. So I spent a lot of time feeling that my problems were insurmountable. I don't think actually, in myself, I don't think problems are really insurmountable. I think that somehow or other you can come across solutions to problems. They say that every problem has the solution within it. And even if a solution wasn't available to you, in the past I used to just be able to give myself over to the fact that there wasn't a solution and it was okay. Whereas I wasn't able to do that. But many years ago, when I first met Steve, my husband, we met in 1999. He said to me something which struck me at the time as being a strange thing to say, and I couldn't relate to it at all at that time. He said, "You never know what middle age will throw at you." And I remember thinking at the time, what on earth do you mean by that? Do you not know yourself? Do you not know what you're able or not able to put up with? Do you not have any backbone or kind of principles that you live by? You know, I remember thinking all of these things, but it was only when I came into middle age myself that I started experiencing these perimenopause symptoms. And I started to think, I had no idea that this was going to happen. I barely recognized myself anymore. A night's sleep, whereas before I would be able to put my head down and sleep all night. Every night I could rely on that, which of course gave me plenty of pep and energy and able to be active, etc. the following day. I mean, really, I could say for the last 4 or 5 years, a night's sleep, I haven't known a full night's sleep. The hot flushes were off the chart and getting worse, you know, so they'd come in cycles. So I'd have a period of time where I'd experience these hot flushes, and the way I was experiencing them was every couple of hours I'd have a batch of them. You could set your clock by this, day and night. So even if I'd managed to fall asleep at night, I would experience the hot flush that would wake me up. I'd have to get the duvet off me, and a few minutes later I'd be icy cold and I'd be pulling the duvet back and hunkering down trying to get warm again. You can't sleep like that. Now remember, as I said earlier, I was worrying about problems. The nighttime anyway is the worst time to worry about problems. But when you tie in all of those elements that I've just mentioned, there is no sleep. I mean, I laugh about it now. So let's come up to present day. I went to the GP, but actually before I went to the GP, the reason why I went to the GP, excuse me, I just love this colour. It's called Soft Earth. You can wear it day and night. It's absolutely gorgeous. I went to a little sort of garden party in the summer, and the next door neighbour of the lady who invited me to this party was there. While I'm talking to you, I might as well put my hair on. I'm kind of a little bit tired of brunettes at the moment, so I'm going to go for something a little bit lighter. I don't have to do anything to my hair except clip it up securely out of the way. I don't need to use a wig grip or anything else, just to clip it out of the way. And I'd been quite against HRT myself because I had heard some horror stories about how it causes breast cancer and I don't know, various other things. But I listened to what she had to say anyway. I took it away with me when I left. And I found myself making a GP appointment after sleeping on it and contemplating what she'd been saying. What is this? This is Paula Young Collins. SF1228. I think this is something like spring honey or honey, something like that. I've got a full review of this on my channel that you can watch. Isn't it just cute and playful and sassy, and kind of nice on a really quite a miserable autumn day out there. It's actually raining at the moment. So I asked the GP about her opinion about starting HRT, and she explained that basically the risks that you incur in taking hormones, in taking hormone replacement therapy, can be counterbalanced by a healthier lifestyle, such as not being overweight, doing moderate weekly exercise, not smoking, and drinking very much in moderation. And I thought, that's good enough for me. I cannot bear to live like this anymore. I cannot go through another week where I've had to battle with this anymore. And incidentally, you know, I'm working part-time, and on the nights that I was working, Stephen would come home. He'd be absolutely exhausted because he does a physical job, and I'd come home, or I'd be working from home. I'd be utterly drained, and I'd have to somehow cobble some semblance of quality togetherness, some quality life, some kind of nice meal or something, when really all we wanted to do was just put our heads down and go to sleep. Well, he would, but I'd be tossing and turning all night. Well, anyway, I was prescribed a medication called Lenzetto. Now, bear in mind, I'm not a doctor and I'm not giving you medical advice, needless to say, but basically this is a transdermal spray. You take this off and you give yourself between 1 and 3 sprays. I give myself 2 sprays. On the inside of my forearms, you can also put it on your legs, on your thighs. I don't do that, I just do it on my forearms. From the 3rd day of taking this spray, I suddenly started to feel human again. The very first thing I noticed was that the hot flushes were reducing. So I was still getting the cycling hot flushes every couple of hours, but the duration was shorter and the intensity was less. Likewise at night. And over the next couple or 3 weeks, they kind of gradually melted away to the background. I now don't have any hot flushes, so I'm on my 4th month of hormone replacement therapy. Because I was still in perimenopause and I'd had a period within the last 3 months or so, they advised that you take progesterone for a year, the first 12 days of every month, which I do, and after that you have a period. And you do that for a full 12 months, then you stop the progesterone and you just have the estrogen, and your periods stop completely at that time. One of the side effects of progesterone is that it makes you sleep deeply. And in those early weeks of starting my HRT, I was falling asleep and then waking up in the morning thinking, good heavens, have I just had a full night's sleep? I can't believe it. And it was the case. Now I'm still, so those early days of the whole HRT and the progesterone, etc., gave me excellent sleep. I'm not having the same sleep. I mean, so every few nights I will wake up once or twice in the night. Sometimes I won't be able to fall asleep until quite late in the night, but in the majority, in the main, I'm falling asleep and sleeping through. And it is glorious. I feel like declaring it out of my bedroom window to anyone who'll listen. When you've been sleep deprived for so many years and now you're sleeping again, it's the biggest and best gift anybody could give you. Nail polishes, look at these colours. As Address Your Truth Type 2, cool muted colours are everything to me. They make me feel together, safe, calm. I feel most myself when I wear them. So whenever I see anything like that, I absolutely grab it. And look at this gorgeous lip glaze on that lip gloss. Isn't it gorgeous? When when there isn't enough sparkle and shine in life, I consider it my duty to add it in wherever I can. There's not enough of that kind of fun and joy in life out there. Especially when it comes to middle-aged women. I find that I often see middle-aged women who, well, they may be going through perimenopause or menopause, of course. You see, this is something that just didn't occur to me when I was younger. I would look at them and I'd think, what has happened to you? You know, your hair is so dry, your skin is so dry, you don't look very happy. Why is that? Why can't you, and I kind of make up these solutions in my mind as to how I would deal with life as a young woman. But as I said, when you're no longer a young woman and things happen that are totally unexpected, hand on heart, my mother or any other women in my family never told me about the effects of perimenopause. The kind of medical side effects, that the symptoms, so to speak, that you experience when your estrogen level drops. I had no idea that they were so tangible and had so much effect on the way you were, your emotions, your thoughts, and the way you viewed yourself and the world. I feel much better. I feel much, much better now. Sunday today. But there is something that has recently piqued my interest and enthusiasm, which I'd like to get better at, because at my age, 54, I'm kind of fed up at being so bad at baking. I hate being so bad at baking. I want to be able to produce that beautiful birthday cake or whip up that nice quick upside down cake for pudding. So I bought the Mary Berry book. It's called the Baking Bible. It's got sweet baking goods and bread and savoury stuff. I'm going to use today as an opportunity to try my very first cake. But I say very first, actually, when I was 21, I tried to make a Victoria sponge. I put it in the oven full of hope and expectation, and what came out was 2 lopsided biscuits, huge biscuits, burnt on one side, raw on the other, both of them at an angle. I was so devastated. I never tried baking anything again since. Do you think we could maybe do that together? I bet you there are some fabulous bakers out there watching. What a blessing it is for us to be able to bless our friends and family with beautiful things. This is the age for injecting beauty into life. Don't we need it at this precarious time in our history? There are so many ugly things that are playing out in the world. I don't want to fall down that rabbit hole of dwelling on those things, and I don't always want to be talking about those negative things with my loved ones or with my friends. And I think that wearing hair, putting effort into your look. You know, tonight I'm going to a bonfire night, and I thought it's going to be night, it's going to be dark, it's going to be dramatic, it's going to be cozy. Let's put on my new Wigshe with the softest human hair I've ever felt, and let's give ourselves a nice red nail and the most sparkly lip gloss out. And just inject a little bit of fun into it. Now, here's an idea. If we bake that cake together and it comes out nice, maybe I can take the cake with me and just present that goodwill, that hope, that joy to those who have been kind enough to invite me. I'm going to go to Waitrose and pick up a few things and decide with you which cake I'm going to go for. I'm all excited. I've come into the kitchen to have a little snack. I'm going to have a bit of porridge before I go to the supermarket. The kitchen is a state, guys. The kitchen is a state. Now, I've decorated the sitting room like I said I wanted to, and I did. Look, I've removed the surround. I've removed the whatever that's called that goes on the very top. The walls are unpainted. The cupboard doors need attention. I need to completely rehaul this kitchen. When I come into my kitchen, I want a cozy, homely, peaceful, safe environment that I can potter around in and feel good in, and I don't feel good in this kitchen. At the Mary Berry Baking Bible, and I want to choose. Do you remember years ago a film came out called Julie and Julia, something like that, where this girl decided to cook every single recipe in this cookery book. It's a great film. When I first looked at this book after receiving it, I thought, I'm going to cook every single recipe in here. But of course, every single recipe starts with the very first thing. Large all-in-one Victoria sandwich. And on the same theme, coffee Victoria sandwich and chocolate Victoria sandwich. I do like this. This light chocolate cake is sandwiched together with white buttercream and looks as good as it tastes. I'm gonna do this. I had to buy greaseproof paper, i.e. baking parchment, and self-raising flour, self-raising, caster sugar, yup. I bought 2 blocks of unsalted butter, some nice Belgian dark chocolate to grate on the top, cocoa powder and baking powder. Those are the things that I didn't have, that I had to get, and I didn't have tins. So can you believe that Waitrose didn't have tins, loose bottom tins like this, deep loose bottom tins? That's what the recipe calls for. So I bought 2 of those, and of course I had to get like a cake box, Tupperware. I already feel exhausted. I dropped the cake tins as I was coming out of the supermarket. They went rolling off. Somebody came to my assistance. By the time I walked back to the car after having to go to Sainsbury's to get the cake tins, I remember feeling, my goodness, I could probably buy this. Anyway, let's not go down that road. I'm not going to bore you with any further of my struggles. However, the hair did, it bore up really nicely out there. I'm just going to start following this recipe, and I'm going to show you the finished result. For you, it's going to be just a moment, but for me, it's probably going to be a sustained amount a sustained length of time of effort and quite a lot of anxiety. Now, my friend, who is a trained cook, I said to her, making cakes is a lot of work, isn't it? She said, no, it's not a lot of work. It's a meditation. So let's see how I go with that. I'll let you know. Okay, I've got another 7 minutes left of baking the actual sponge. I suddenly realised I didn't buy any icing sugar, and I absolutely have got to make a buttercream, a chocolate buttercream. So I've asked Steve to pick some icing sugar up. I will make that. I had the quickest little peek inside the oven, and I was amazed to see that the cake was actually rising. If this turns out good, this is going to be yet another superpower to have up your sleeve for those times when you want to make somebody feel really special, or to really bring something extraordinary to a gathering. God, imagine all the amazing things you could make. I mean, any event is going to be special with a homemade cake that works and tastes good. What do you think?
It looks lovely.
Do you think so? This needs to be moved, that's it. Yeah, maybe a little bit more in the middle would have been good, but this is it. So I'm going to put it in that Tupperware, and we're going to go. We need to be there in 10 minutes, and I've still got to get my jeans on and some warm clothing. Last night was very nice. Everybody loved the cake and it was moist. I was very surprised that it was as good as it actually came out. I just wanted to update you as to how last night went. It was a wonderful bonfire night with a proper bonfire at the end of it. It was jacket potatoes and chili and mulled wine and all of those wonderful things. Anyways, whatever you're doing this week, I wish you the best, and I hope you have a good week, and I hope that you dive into your interests and passions, wear hair fearlessly, or find your joy, find what it is that keeps you interested every day, looking forward to tomorrow, and growing your interests and growing as a person. I very much look forward to speaking to you again. Take care.